games now, friends. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon and the world's greatest role player. I'm here today for yet another episode on the 48-hour stream EncounterCon. It's hour 33 out of 48, so you do the math. And we're back with another cast and crew for some more games. We're playing Cypher System, Escape from Gorilla Planet. So let's go around the cast and crew. Let's figure out who we are and who we're playing. We've got a Grant Ellis with us tonight. Grant, how's it going, my friend?
The most beautiful sound in the world, in a single word. Will Jones, Will Jones, Will Jones. That's 2 words. Sorry. I'm doing great. It was a wonderful convention weekend, and now I'm at the real convention. I'm here at the EncounterCon, and that's what I'm all about. You know, I had a lot of serious feels this weekend, man. It's been a year since I've started playing on Encounter Roleplay, and I'm really excited to be out here for EncounterCon. So we're going to play Escape from Gorilla Planet, which is a homebrewed adventure based on some work by our friend Bruce Cordell, who's a friend of the channel and a designer at Monty Cook Games. And we're going to rock and we're going to roll.
A kind gesture.
Hell yes. I got a nat 20. He needs money for his drugs. Don't.
Which drugs?
Yeah, it's so. We also have Ethan, Super Robot Bear, with us tonight. Ethan, how's it going, buddy?
Hello! I'm doing okay. It's been a weekend, though.
Has it?
Time to escape from a planet.
Hell yeah, a gorilla planet.
Is the planet a gorilla, or are there gorillas on the planet?
Honestly, that's what I was thinking.
I told everyone I think I'm a game designer now, so I was like, what if the planet was the gorilla? And they're like, Grant, you're fine. Just leave.
Just like, it does that, like, zoom out, and we find out that we've been on a gorilla face the entire time?
Right.
Oh. Let's hope it's the
like
face.
Just fucking eat other planets. Amazing. Do you know who you're going to be playing tonight, Ethan?
I am playing the pilot, but I can't pronounce this name. Jorimo?
Nickname.
Joe?
Are you Baby J?
But,
Joe is.
Oh, is that
good?
Baby
low,
J.
Low syllables is good for me right now. We'll call you JB or Joe.
I'm playing the Starfighter Ace/Jockey, who's good at fighting and money.
He's good at fighting and money.
And also, on an unrelated note, money. Awesome. We have Chelsea with us tonight. Chelsea, how's it going?
It's going. I too have been in a con weekend, Dragon Con this weekend. I am worn out. I partied nice and hard. I played a bunch of cool games, and I'm here now for 9 hours to celebrate EncounterCon. Let's do it. Soaked. And I am playing our science officer of the team, London Lambert. He's the empathetic, skilled, and knowledgeable explorer who works miracles in the far future among stars and space.
Holy shit, that's a lot of words. Awesome.
London
Lambert.
London Lambert.
Sweet. As for myself, I don't know who I'm playing. I think I'm playing the Diplomat, but I'm going to make up a name here in a second. In fact, chat, you guys can name me. We're at the point of no return. I've gone beyond. But I'm here in space on a gorilla planet. Maybe I'm a gorilla. Maybe I'm the planet. There's your plot twist, Grant.
The real gorilla planet was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Oh man, awesome. A couple of things to know before we get started. We're playing Cypher System. You guys can interact with the show. If you haven't subbed, we're like a 10, 20, somewhere in between there. There's a number which is correct. Between now and another emote unlock on the sub thing, we just got the ERP Heresy, and now we want the ERP Sanity. Or the ERP Gorilla. I mean, I could do either. Also, you guys can interact with today's show. If you haven't retweeted this tweet, go ahead and do so. Or you can interact with today's show by donating, by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. Which a couple of things has happened already. Dave has given me a nat 20. Hell yeah. And Twilight's Falling has asked you, he's asked this of you, Grant, would like to purchase a GM intrusion for Grant to give out when he wants to, which I think would work really well for the Cypher System, right?
Yes, absolutely. It would be phenomenal to do so.
Absolutely.
I'll do it right now.
Let's do this
So-
right this very second.
Yes. So Will,
Yes.
pardon my intrusion, but you secretly think all the other members of the party are gorillas, but you think they're the friendly gorillas. You think-
Okay. Again, that's
and
in
you get an
line with
experience point for that.
amazing. This is very much in line with my character concept as a whole. As I will be playing Dan, the diplomat, I've been told. Dan, a little bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes specifically to gorilla theories. He's cracked open a lot of cases. 9/11 was a gorilla inside job. Gorillas actually landed on the moon. It wasn't humans first. And now he's here to uncover the greatest mystery of them all. Are all people actually just gorillas? So he's got a journey to be on. He's got some learning to do. He's gonna get there, I think, and we'll all get there together. Grant, why don't you stop me from talking for a little while, and you say some mouth words instead.
All right, I'm going to paint a word picture. So, by full disclosure for the chat, I was in a horrible automobile accident this weekend and totaled my car and had to run a convention for several days, but I'm feeling pretty good, and there's no way I would back out of this game. There's no quit in me, and this is going to be super fun. Every time I write a one-shot, I like to send a primer to my players. And I will read that for the audience now, and then explain a little bit about our system. So the primer begins, "Get your stinking paws off me, you dirty Grimjack." I decided the apes on this planet are called Grimjacks, after our friend Greg. Gamma Team 9 has been shot out of the sky and forced to make an emergency landing on Zebulon 7, the planet of the Grimjacks. These highly advanced ape-like beings are known for their ruthlessness and xenophobia. There are also stories of atrocities being committed across their species. Your still-functioning interstellar communicator is picking up a local distress signal, highly encrypted and extremely urgent. Your mission is simple: escape. And then we're going to play to find out what happens. Now, Cypher system is different than some role-playing games in that its mechanics are what are called story-oriented. Creativity is highly encouraged. The game master will set a task difficulty between 1 to 10, and then the players enter a negotiation with the game master to reduce the difficulty based on the attributes of their character and equipment they have, as well as one-use special items called ciphers. Our characters in this game are each going to start out with their characters being defined a little more. And I'm going to have some questions for each of our players. So let's begin with our good friend, Little Red Dot. How does London feel about Joe the pilot?
Well, London thinks he's a simple pilot, really. He doesn't have he's a simple pilot. Yeah, he has no real problems with him. But his usual camaraderie crowd is not of his class, if you would.
Oof.
Or so he thinks.
We're 5 minutes into the game and we already have classism. It surely is a money kick game.
It fits right into what I was thinking already, so it's great.
That's good. I like that he's simple. It's like, he mostly just leaves it on autopilot anyways. I hear that's why we crash. All right. And so a question for Joe. Joe, how do you feel about Dan the diplomat? Rumor has it he would come into the cockpit, words chosen carefully, to chat up the pilots. How do you feel about Dan?
Honestly, it's pretty good because it gets lonely in the pilot den.
It gets lonely in that cockpit.
Super happy to see anyone.
I'm trying to avoid that.
I'm on the stream and I'm on medication. There's going to be plenty of this over the next 3 hours. And then you have Lindy's game, so you have it for like the next 9 hours.
True. Yeah, no, I think happy to have someone to talk to, especially someone as good at talking as Dan.
Mhm.
And my question for Dan, how do you feel about the other two?
Something that Dan does every day is learn 2 new words and unlearn 1 word. So he's constantly cycling through new vocabulary but deleting previous vocabulary from it. He's figured this is the most constructive way to learn new language and to communicate with people. However, it does give him problems sometimes when he forgets what words mean. He sees himself as having reached a higher level of wisdom than most. On a social level, he thinks they're fine. You know, like he's, you know, maybe a little odd, but on an intellectual level, he's on a different planet, which he sees as being a higher one. It's not. It's just one that's very, very far away. So I think he's a little bit disconnected from
Sorry,
actual reality.
They're on the gorilla planet. You're on the man planet.
I'm somewhere up there.
Dan is the gorilla planet. That's
You need a T-shirt with that, where it's like the gorilla planet slowly.
I'm on
evolving
Gorilla
into the man
Moon.
planet.
Right.
I'm on the gorilla moon.
Somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, but I think he gets along with them well enough. As long as he doesn't think about it too much. Because then he thinks that they're all gorillas. Because when he really thinks about it, he secretly believes that they are actually gorillas. So there's a part of Dan that if he thinks about that too much and he gets wrapped up in his own conspiracies, you know, it's like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be friends with these guys because they're actually just gorillas and they're probably stealing my knowledge, my words.
What gorillas do. Gorillas exist to steal knowledge.
It's the gorilla agenda. Okay.
Is that why they?
What I desire is man's red fire. Oh, those were orangutans.
Is that why they pick bugs off each other? Because the bugs have the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard about being bugged?
Awesome.
This whole room is bugged.
Nice.
Even the gorillas are bugged.
Even the gorillas are bugged, man.
All right, so now I have a question. What does London hope to achieve in their life, and what's the current life goal that you are working on? And I'll give an example. For example, me, Grant Ellis, I'm working on launching a new campaign. I won't be happy until it launches. My younger brother is hoping to get booked on a cruise line performing electric guitar. What life goal does London have?
I have a life goal of starting a medical hospital. I do, because I'm a healer.
Start the first Gorilla Planet medical hospital.
Right, yeah,
guys.
serve the gorillas. Serve them.
You have grant money.
Make sure that everybody has equal access to healthcare.
Even the gorillas.
Even the gorillas.
The Grimjacks. Sorry, chat. The Grimjacks. And what is Joe's life goal? What does Joe hope to achieve? So London's working on performing a great work in building a hospital for all persons. What about Joe?
I think Joe wants to figure out a trajectory to do a double slingshot maneuver off of 2 gas planets at some point in his life.
I love that. And I know guys like that, you know, pilots. I just gotta get it whipping so fast and just...
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. My car accident hand. All right.
Did you just punch your wall?
And what is Dan's life goal?
Oh man. Probably probably just to learn what the gorillas are really up to. You know, like
solve a mystery. Solve the mystery.
Yeah, he wants to solve the conspiracy that he's
mystery of the
invented in his
Grimjacks.
brain.
We call them.
Right.
All right. Good deal.
How fucking dare you?
All right. So This adventure begins with your ship having crash landed. It has crash landed on the planet Zebulon 7. It was an emergency landing. Several key components to the ship were damaged. There was a thruster on the right wing that had gone out completely. You damaged your energy cells, so there is no fuel, essentially, to power your vessel. And there are also several components to your nav computer. Mostly the cabling is out, so you need to replace the cabling. You tried to resolder it in, and it was not having it. And they were like, London, aren't you a science officer? And you're like, I'm a doctor. I put together organs and stuff, not these crude mechanical matter, I assume. So the adventure begins with a few questions that I ask. Who was the first of you three to awake from the crash?
I mean, maybe it's unlikely to be Dan. Like,
no, Dan's like, I don't get up unless I've slept 12 solid.
Yeah, he's all about his REM cycle.
Joe. Yeah, Joe. I would say the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
I was
on
the most ready for
the uppers. Yeah. All right, so Joe was the first up, and Joe, how many people survived the crash? There may have been more people than just you and the party.
How big was the ship?
You tell me. I mean, it's your ship. I'm just the game master.
Maybe 20 people?
20 people. Wow.
Is that a particularly large ship? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you had 20 people, and these individuals were actually part of London's, what we'll call Society of Wellness, Feel Good Inc., if you have it. And of the 20, the majority were abducted. In fact, 16 of them were abducted and went missing the first night. There were no signs of tracks. There were no signs of the bodies dying from their wounds. And only 4 people remained. These 4 people were Harley Gibson, Charles Fraser, Amanda Fairbanks, and Shin Lizer. Harley's pretty heavy set, but has a very attractive personality. It's a real firecracker, that Harley. Charles is quite plump, where Harley is kind of, big, broad-shouldered. Charles has a big, frumpy gut. But really cute cheeks and a brilliant smile, kind of like John Pinetti, the late, great stand-up comedian. He was Italian, and so he kind of looks like the Bob's Big Boy burger person. Nice little smile. Amanda had kind of stooped shoulders and always kept to herself, and she always had a black and white rat that sat on her shoulders. And Shin had very long limbs. Like, Shin probably played a lot of basketball growing up and swam competitively. But also was always over-eager and super energetic to the point where it was off-putting. And Shin was a co-pilot under Joe. So, of note, these are 4 NPCs that are here to help you. And I'd like to give each of you an asset. An asset is something you can use to help you complete a task in the adventure. The first asset I'm going to give is to Dan, and it is the No Impediments asset. You can think about how to use your surroundings, be it rocky terrain, be it jungle or desert, and find the way to best use your environment to do speed-based tasks and decrease the difficulty. So running through rough terrain, fighting on rough terrain. You know how to use the environment to your advantage. The good Dr. London has a mechanical intuition, and if something seems very difficult to solve, such as repairing the ship or fabricating a device to help you solve a difficulty, you can reduce the difficulty of that task. And the last one is for Joe. Joe is not afraid of anything. Joe don't scare would be written on his t-shirt should he have one. And Joe can resist any the difficulty of any task that involves, he can reduce the difficulty of any task that involves resisting fear by 1 step. So these are assets that they're not single-use items, they're just certain things about your character currently. So the ship has crash landed. 16 of 20 survivors have gone missing with no trace. To the north, there is a mountain with heavy black smoke rising from its peak. To the south, there appears to be a magnificent waterfall that you can see about a mile away. It's impossibly large, though. It almost reaches up to the sky, and there's this beautiful shimmering fluid that seems to fall, and you can hear it crashing through most of the day. However, there comes a time every evening where it sounds as if the crashing stops. There's a forest to the east, and there is a desert, or just kind of barren lands to the west. You as a team have to decide how you want to tackle the challenges that were presented to you in your primer. Are you going to try to repair your vessel? Are you going to search Gorilla Planet and try to find a new one? There was a distress signal. Are you going to try to discern the location of where it's coming from? It's local to this planet. So the adventure begins with you, the party, leading the way now. So let's make it happen. What do you do?
How long have the people been missing?
1 night.
Okay.
They went missing the first night you were there.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, friends. Is we've got a perfectly good ship here. You could call it a very big banana.
No, I would not call it a banana.
No,
banana.
What's it more? Is it more like a tree to you, or what do other things? Other things?
Fat Charles Fraser speaks up and goes, "We have no bananas today," and then like smiles at Joe like, "Hey!" He looks immediately for approval. You high five him?
Well, are we going to just leave the people that are missing? Simply fix our ship and move on?
Listen, I'm the diplomat here. This is on
And
me.
I am a doctor! And this doctor is not going to leave behind... Are there women and children, or is it like space adventurers?
Just Tuscan Raiders.
It's just us.
And they travel single file to hide their numbers. We don't know if it's 16 missing or 116. It's hard to tell. Sorry. Well, you tell me, London. So these individuals were going to help you build your hospital. What type of people were they?
Oh, well, if they were on a mission to help... Oh, if that's the mission, was to build the hospital, then they would not be probably women and children.
They were union.
Good. Yeah, they were union workers.
They were union.
They were good men. And
Just
they were under our protection.
They were good. Good is subjective, but now they're gone, and we have here the high ground, literally and metaphorically, metaphysically, ecumenically, other words. And while the ship here needs fixing, it's a hell of a lot easier just to rebuild something that's broken than to build a whole new thing. Isn't that right, Joe?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh,
Wait,
Joe, you're
muted.
muted.
You muted anything?
I am. Dude, you have way too many words in there. What we need to do,
I'll delete
we need
one.
people to fix the ship. Right? Right. I don't want to fix the whole ship. That's a big hole. Do you want to fix the whole ship?
I'm not going to do anything. No. I thought that you would do that. I'm the diplomat. I'll talk to the people, the people or the gorillas, if you want.
We'll talk our way off this planet.
Right. Yes.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe.
I've talked myself off of planets before.
Amanda Fairbanks lurks out of the shadows where she's been eerily eyeing it Dan the whole time and goes, "One does not simply talk to the Grimjacks. They are a fearsome species. Cruel. Merciless."
Oh. Well, then I won't do that then. I'll sit here and,
Right.
yes, and I'll watch you fix it, and I'll cook up some plans for when we're off this planet for other diplomacy things.
Well, we're still going to need supplies if we're going to fix it, yes?
Absolutely. That is your area of expertise, Doctor.
No. Well, I guess I have this mechanical intuition. Yes, occasionally I can fix things. Where do we find that, though? It's not like we're going to be able to walk out of the ship
There are
and they'll
things-
be growing.
If there's anything I've learned is that there are things in forests.
Yes, usually
Maybe.
bad things.
Dude.
There are many things in forests, trees.
What if there's more crashed ships?
Great idea from the pilot. Find another ship, we'll strip it, take its supplies, bring them back here, and fix the ship.
I still totally think we should go save our friends.
Yes.
Now you'd have to find where the friends are, and there were no tracks that were left. So, but you do know there's a mountain to the north, barren lands to the west, a massive, fantastically large waterfall to the south, forest to the east. So, do you want to head to the mountain, the forest, the waterfall, or into the
Or a
wastelands?
gorilla. Where would I go? What would I do?
The mist, says Charles Frazier, and he smiles again. No, nothing. Not even one. Yeah, I'm bombing
Charles.
tonight.
Please.
Nah, how's it done?
I mean, if you were a gorilla, what would be your agenda?
That's the question I just asked. In so
And
many
yet
words.
I'm asking it.
Well, but I am not a gorilla. I don't know. I would suspect gorillas would want trees. And the waterfall did that odd thing last night where it just went quiet.
Well, you can see things from mountains and from trees, so might be able to
Well, I'm no
spot
mountain
something.
climber. I look at
But
the
you
pilot.
might be
Can
a
you climb
tree
mountains?
climber?
You know, if you'd like to figure out what you know about the gorillas, it sounds like the goal here is to maybe get a little bit of information or see if any of your characters have any about the Grimjacks and how they normally dwell, or maybe you read something in a book or across the HoloNet, whether about their cities and their societies. So let's go ahead and have Dan the diplomat make an intellect task level 4 roll. So you'll need a 12 or higher, and you may have some abilities that will reduce this. What are some abilities you might have?
Let's see. Is it my pregen or just something I should make up?
You can use the pregen.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's gonna be very fun. Oh, I have that skill. As I have one.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Encouragement. I'm empathetic. Wait, what am I doing here? What kind of skill am I trying to achieve?
Wait, you're gonna make an intellect task roll. So you're gonna roll a d20 on a 12 or higher. You may have additional information about the Grimjacks, and that would be beneficial to solving your problems.
I well, you know what? I've gotten one edge in the intellect pool and a big pool of it, so I'll spend a couple of points and reduce that down one step to
All right.
9, which is didn't need it anyway. 19, boom.
You get a minor effect. So not only do you know things about the Grimjacks, you're also going to know something additional. So one, you know the reason there are no tracks that the Grimjacks left is because they tend to use hovercrafts that they load people into. And the hovercrafts typically go across very flat terrain, so you have deduced that they have most likely taken the captives into the barren lands. From there, it's anyone's guess.
We're looking for the captives. It's probably into the barren lands. That doesn't sound fun, though, does it? That could be a little dangerous.
Are we
Especially if they
equipped
are
to
as
even?
bloodthirsty as she says.
Are we even equipped to handle such a endeavor?
Oh goodness, I'm not.
Amanda draws a pistol. She goes, "I am.
Whoa.
I'll kill every one of those." What? Hey, you never
Amanda.
seen one of these? And she kind of waves it around.
The doctor
Not very
dodges the
carefully.
tip of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting behind Amanda's hatred for gorillas, and I'm like, yes, we should find and kill any gorillas amongst.
This seems a bit drastic. Okay, to the barren lands. How do we track them, though?
Well, there'll be the least trees. Maybe we'll see them.
There will be captives.
They have
Well, then
hovercrafts.
shall we just start walking and hope we stumble upon them?
Good idea.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work.
Well, then, tally forth.
Let me.
My question
grab
for
a
the
few
party.
things.
My question for the party is: which of you takes charge and gives orders to the rest of your crew members? You can give them any orders you'd like. You can order them to come with you. You can order them to guard the remains of your vessel. You can order them to search in a different direction. It's really up to you as a party to decide how you want to handle this.
I say there's strength in numbers. I don't want any of us getting caught out here on our own if there are scary gorillas around the area.
Wouldn't it make sense to also have them stay and maybe protect the ship?
Less more mouths to feed in the desert.
We can leave Amanda here, maybe. She seems like she could do with a sit down.
I will defend the vessel, she says, and she has that faraway look, 10-mile stare in her eyes, and she's just like,
Wow.
"I'll defend the vessel. I've defended
Visions
many
of
vessels."
gorillas
And she's like,
dying in her eyes.
yeah. Actually, you're empathetic, right? You
Sure.
kind of get the sense that she's probably lost someone, and she may have lost someone here on this planet. And when she heard that you guys were flying past here, she armed herself as a result of it.
I don't think she sabotaged the ship.
Well, do you?
Nah.
I do
No,
now.
Amanda,
I like that idea. She could go on a
Amanda's
crusade
chill.
and behind the Grimjacks. The crusade against the Grimjacks.
Kill them all. No. Amanda's fine by me. She seems like she's got a nose for sniffing out gorillas. So, you can stay here, watch the ship. We'll go out, search for the captives in the barren lands.
Great.
And supplies for fixing the ship.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Should be plenty of that on
All right.
a couple hovercrafts.
So
Hovercrafts,
here's,
yes, we should find those.
So now, out of characters, players, go ahead and reiterate your plan and essentially how you're going to leave them. So who's left behind, who's left searching, and then who, as you head out into the waste, exactly how do you want to do that? If I understood correctly.
I think it's just Amanda staying behind, maybe a couple of us, and then
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
think
head
the plan
into
was,
the
yeah.
head into the barrens.
So Amanda will stay there, and you will have Fat Charles, Husky Harley, and Slinky Shin. Yeah, and Shin's like, walking with his Robin Hood stork legs, and he's just like, "This is a right proper treat," as he's like making his way. The Shin looks at Joe. He goes, "Hey, Joe. I found something in the vessel, and I think we might want to keep it. We might want to use it, and I think you probably are the best." And he pulls out these kind of like, they're almost like bioluminescent chewable capsules, and he pulls out a handful of them, and he drops them in your hand, and he says, and he hands you, he goes, "Now be very, very careful with this, and might you be able to tell me what they are? Go ahead and make an intellect task difficulty of 3, so you need a 9 or higher to figure out what these magic pills are that he hands you."
Well, I have tons of intellect points, so can I use them to...
I was going to say, he handed them to Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he handed... I'm sorry, I was not listening then, so...
No, it's okay. No, here's how I want it to play out in the fiction. He starts to hand them to Joe, and London just snatches them and goes, "I know what these are." Yeah. Go ahead and make the roll.
Yes. No. Can I use points to make that a 2 instead of a 3?
So what you can do, well, let's talk about the skills you have to see if you reduced it before you made it. So what are some things that you are trained in as your character? What are some of the skills you have that might reduce this? So, and again, to reiterate for the audience and our players who are newer to the system, typically before we roll in the game, as a player, it's good to begin a conversation and start haggling with the game master to lower that number. It's actually one of the more entertaining aspects. So yeah, what skills do you have to possibly identify this?
Well, I have 2 knowledge skills. I have one in like medicine. Right?
Your medicine would do it.
Yeah, the medicine would say would be the one. It's like I think I chose medicine and history for his knowledge skills. Yeah. So I also have like an investigation, like an identifying skill as well.
You know that this is a chewable capsule that creates a force field that lasts for about an hour. This is a single-use Cypher that was being handed to Joe. However, you're free to keep them for yourself if you want to deny them from Joe. And no. Shin's like, kind of like, "My pills! She took my pills! The doctor took my medicine! The doctor took my medicine!" And kind of seems like really like bitchy over it.
Wow. No, London like looks at him really close, makes his investigation of them, and hands them back to Joe and says, "These will be very useful."
Sweet. Do I eat them?
Don't take it now.
They're animals.
Says, no.
Cool.
No. Yeah.
How much party drug is this?
No.
40%.
Perfect.
Solid.
Keep that for later.
Right in the sweet spot.
40%.
Right. That's what we're all really looking for.
The other 60% is guilt and shame.
Yeah.
What's normal?
Equal parts of guilt and shame.
All right, so Amanda's left behind. You have been handed by Shin a one-use Cypher, and you begin trekking off into the waste, it sounds like. The wastes are very harsh. And before long, what's probably after about half a day's travel, you can decide to head back, but you also see on the horizon, probably about 10 minutes walk out in the plains, a massive dome. And the dome is orange in color, and it every now and then emits green lightning in a spire going straight up into the sky. And then the sky seems to drop a purple haze, like the song, from the sky. What do? You can investigate the dome, or you can turn back.
Yeah, can we No, the doctor's going to investigate.
I think there might be diplomacy things in there. and or some of those resources that we've been looking for.
Oh,
Maybe this has to do with the Great Ape agenda.
Yes, we all know of the Great Ape agenda.
Right.
Different than the Gorilla's agenda.
Do we? Because that's the first time I've mentioned it.
Harley
Joe's already
explains, he goes, I believe the Grimjacks are misunderstood, and we should be willing to work with them rather than work against them.
Really?
What say you, London?
I'd note that down in my little notepad. Like
Gorilla sympathizer.
I too feel like there is middle ground, but I am concerned that they are not open to communication.
Are you guys coming?
I'm
Joe's
walking
already
and
in the
talking.
distance.
You go ahead, Joe.
All right. So how would you like to approach? How would you like to approach the dome? You can send one, or you can all go. You can circumnavigate it and check the environment, and or you can just approach it head on. But it's up to you as the party to decide how you would like to solve this mystery of Kubla Khan's stately pleasure dome in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, I enjoy punching doors down.
Don't punch it. Is it like a force field? Is that what it looks like?
You would not know unless you went to touch it. Now, you do know it does not look like the force field that his pill would emit.
Okay. Wait. Does it look like mechanical in any way? As if it has like a source, like a power source? Would my mechanical intuition allow me to know this?
You would need, here's what you feel. There's nothing mechanical about the outside of this dome. However, it does seem, the word best to describe it is weird. As you look at it with your trained eyes, it looks like it's most likely a semi-solid, a pliant semi-solid that's being suspended up around a different structure. And whatever is mechanical is most likely beyond
I see.
this dome. And it stands about 75 feet tall, so it's quite large from bottom up, and then it comes out about 200 feet. It's like a giant orange beanbag chair.
Weird.
Doctor, I think
Can you
this
see
is
through
your area of expertise. Yeah.
Is it transparent?
You would need to get closer, but your best guess, based off of the positioning of the sun, which will be setting in about 3 hours' time. Yes. So, based on the position of the sun, it does look like it is somewhat translucent.
Should I approach? Yeah, go, Joe. Go, you do it.
Joe's gonna run over.
Shin's running with him. He goes, I'm gonna race you, Joe. Just like Rocky
They're
racing Apollo Creed. So you guys are running, you're running. I want you to are you gonna try to beat Shin, or are you gonna let him beat you?
Oh. I was hoping to be like neck and neck, but I'm gonna let him win.
You can keep pace with him. You're gonna let him win?
Yeah.
Alright. So Shin wins, and he goes, ha! And he goes to tag the dome to show that he's gotten there first. And as he touches it, his arm kind of punctures through and gets stuck inside. And it looks like inside the dome, it begins to harden around his arm, and it locks his arm in there. And he's like, it's got me. It's hot. It's burning. Joe, it hurts. What do you do?
Does it look like I can yank him out?
No.
Can I hear this happening?
You guys can see it. They're about 50 yards off, and you can hear it. Shin is screaming. Any chance of surprise by these two has been lost.
Well, come on, London says to Dan, and he begins running that direction.
I'll follow along. I'm behind you.
I think by the time...
No, go ahead.
I think by the time London gets there, I think Joe's already got his machete out. And he's like, we gotta do it, man.
You know what? And you know that is probably the only way you'll get him out of there. Slowly, by time, and you notice his eyes are starting to roll into the back of his head and his mouth's starting to foam. You're going to have to find a way to separate him. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
Do something, someone. He's not...
Or strength. It's a strength task.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Or it's intellect. And here's the difference. You can do a precise surgical procedure where you're carefully trying to get the bones, clean cuts.
Okay.
Or you can just go for the old Dungeons and Dragons lob the arm off. So
I mean, that's what I was going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, then you do that. That's the way Joe does it. Now, if you want to show him how to cut off an arm properly, Shin does have 2 arms. So once he gets out, you can show him now.
Okay.
Shin.
Yeah, I get there just a little too late, I imagine. Like, just enough people to be like, no!
You hit him and he falls.
Yeah.
To make this
he's bleeding.
as clean as possible, though, I would like to use my thrust attack, which makes it 1 additional point of damage, which I assume would make a cleaner cut.
Or it would be a deeper cut. You know, you're doing more damage, not less, right? So normally a doctor, you're trying to not hurt people, but a thrust is designed to hurt more. So here's what I would say. This is the problem when Grant Ellis has filmed like 700 hours of surgery and my day job. So no, what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you the thing you want, where you do a cleaner cut, and you do it because essentially, not just to make it cleaner, but to show how much of a badass you are. You're just like, and off comes his arm. It is cleaner though, but he is bleeding out as he falls unconscious to the ground in shock. What does the party do?
I run over. Can I attempt to tend to, like, stop the bleeding?
Yes. So this is going to be an intellect task 6. So you need an 18 or higher to start.
Quick
Okay,
side
how
note,
many-
Dan is just checking the arm to see if now that it's been severed, it looks like a gorilla's arm.
They all look like gorilla arms. Hairy.
Just as I suspected.
Yeah, you check. It does have opposable thumbs like a gorilla does. And there are 5 fingers exactly like in a gorilla. There is some hair on the arm. Your guess is he shaved it to try to blend in with mankind. With that said, he does not have a gorilla arm. Although it could be a clever disguise.
So I have a bunch of intellect points. How many can I use to minimize that roll? Or to, like, drop it down?
Do you have edge in intellect?
I don't.
Point?
No.
You can spend 3 to reduce it 1, but pardon my intrusion. I would like to perform a GM intrusion. You will gain 1 experience point and also have an additional experience point to hand out to any other party member. Likewise, Dan took a DM intrusion earlier, a GM intrusion. He can hand out another one as well. Those allow you to level up, get cool perks, as well as re-roll failed die rolls. So, would you like to accept the intrusion?
Do I know what the intrusion is?
Not unless you have to accept it to find out.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Sure. Make things interesting.
All right. You notice as you're getting ready to tend to the wound, Dan has, or not Dan, Shin has several ceremonial pendants hidden in his sleeve, and there are 4 simian gorilla golden heads are inside his clothing that he was keeping, and maybe there was something to Dan's suspicion about a gorilla conspiracy. And you can choose someone else in the party to get an experience point as you're tending to it, so you're stopping the bleeding. And you can go ahead and make an intellect task roll. Yeah.
Okay, intellect task at an 18.
You totally stop the bleeding and patch him up. He's unconscious now, but he'll probably come to.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Dan, the extra experience point, only because he had the conspiracy thoughts already, so he was kind of in the know. And
So
maybe
how does this look like in the
tips my brain
game? Do you take the pendants and place them in his hand?
So I'll definitely tend to his wounds first. Tie a piece of cloth or something up to try to stop the bleeding, and once he's passed out, I'll remove them. I don't know how exactly they're attached under his clothing, but I'll attempt to remove them. And I turn.
They're sewn in. They're sewn into his underclothing. These gold pendants.
Oh yeah. I'll try to break them free, probably with a scalpel or a pair of scissors or something that I have in like the general med kit on my.
Yep. You cut them out. You cut them out.
And I turn to the both of them with them in hand, and I say, Dan, I thought your theories were garbage. But you may in fact be right. And I pass over the gold, or what did you say, the
they're
skulls?
golden gorilla pendants of gorilla heads. And
But
go ahead, Dan.
you should know there are at least hours of research on this matter that I personally have put in to the Great Gorilla Conspiracy. Now, so far, here's what I have. There is some kind of international, interdimensional, interpersonal, intricate gorilla conspiracy. Now, there's something involving gold pendants. And that's where I am right now.
Yes.
Right.
So,
Now,
do we know what they do?
Who knows? The gorillas know.
One of you can make an intellect check if you'd like to try to discern what's going on. Charles believes he knows what they are, so you can reduce this difficulty by 1, but I'm not going to tell you what the difficulty is for this particular test.
Well, give it a roll.
Yeah, give it a roll.
That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. It's also reduced. So Charles says that these are electrical detonators. You can throw them and they'll explode in electrical energy, and it'll create a massive detonation doing an immense amount of damage.
Can they be...
I almost chopped it off.
Do you think that these could be reverse engineered in some way to provide enough energy to pilot the plane?
They would be able to get you enough lift. They might be able to act as a thruster. However, they're non-sustainable. Cyphers are single-use items, and so they would give out after a short amount of time.
Okay. So what do we know of this Shin? Where did he come from, and why is he on board our ship?
And why is he a gorilla?
Well, you took the words from my mouth, Dan. The diplomat.
That is my name.
I don't know.
Yes.
He had all the right licenses, and that was all that was really important.
Look, Harvey speaks up, and he's like, or Harley, look, times is hard in the government. We need to take who we can get. Shin was a good man, a strong man, and a loyal man. He is not a guerrilla sympathizer. I don't know what you're saying, but he's one of us. His father was one of us, and his grandfather was one of us.
One of us. Yes. I believe what you're saying. I look towards the doctor and I'm like,
Yeah, actually, no, I have this. I have these perception things. I am representative. Okay, yeah. I can read people. I have a knack for reading a person's tells and subtle movements that convey individual mood and disposition. Yeah. I work with people, so is there a way I can roll to make sure that he's telling the truth?
I'm like, gorilla.
Like,
you don't have to because you've reduced the difficulty down to a 0, which means you do not have to roll.
Okay.
It wasn't very difficult. Harley always tells the truth, but it's a truth that he himself has written and believes. So Harley believes without a doubt that Shin can do no wrong. But a lot of that's because he's bought into the lies of the system, which obviously means the gorillas, the Grimjacks, mean no harm. However, you're pretty sure that Harley is sincere. And Shin is sincere too. Shin's starting to come to. He's like, my arm! I'm going to miss it. I can still feel it where it once was.
And I'm like, shh. I look up at the group and I'm like, he will never make it. I whisper that so he can't hear me.
Yeah, but he's looking at you and he can sort of see your mouths moving, and you're almost wondering if he can read lips, but he just goes, London, I love you.
What?
Where's Joe?
He is there. Joe, come.
All right. A bit too much.
Calls for you.
All right. A little bit too much.
Joe is still looking at the arm that's inside the goop. Like,
yeah,
dude,
and you notice it's
right
turned solid. And you see coming on the horizon as you're looking at the arm, you can see through into the bioluminescent dome. There is a small structure inside with a tower built into it that is jutting up, a good 60 feet. And beyond, you see a large silhouette forming on the horizon. It looks like a hovercraft of some sort is coming towards the dome.
Oh, I don't see.
We have a raid coming in chat. Dun 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 dun.
I have a plan.
I think, immediately as you say that, Dan is like, his distress calls have a beacon to the other gorillas.
We should. We should hide.
Good idea.
This part's solid.
I'll behind you.
Maybe we can break it. This part of the goop shield is solid. Maybe we could break it?
Or is it the arm went solid? Where the arm touched it, the shield is now a different texture, or
is that
right?
You're gonna drill a hole into the solid word part, and then you're gonna tunnel through. Do I understand?
No, my thought was actually to stick some of the bombs into the arm and then run away.
And make an arm bomb.
Arm bomb.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that indeed.
Actually, yeah.
Easy, but it might just work.
You notice the dome's beginning to lift from the bottom, and it's rising up and kind of folding up into itself. You can now walk freely beneath it if you'd like. And you all see now the large hovercraft coming in the distance. Are you going to hide from it? Are you going to approach it? Are you going to try to find a place within the dome to get to quickly before it arrives?
Yes. Do we see something quickly? A place to hide inside the dome?
I'm gonna hide.
Tower?
Yeah, I would like to hide.
The tower's attached to a building. There are 3 doors on it as you glance at it. They are all on the same wall. Strange writing is written on each door. It's not in any common tongue that you are familiar with. What do you do?
Do I kick one down?
Go!
Yes.
Do you kick down the first, second, or third?
Oh, God.
Middle door.
All right. You could kick down the middle door. And as you kick it, it shatters into thousands of pieces. And the door is clearly no more. It leads to a dark room. In the dark room, there are mats on the floor, and you see the bodies. There's at least 7 bodies in here. They're wearing the uniform of your military unit. It would take some time to identify, but these bodies, it looks as though their heads have been removed and their hearts have been cut out.
Dude.
Oh. Did we
Inside
leave
the
Shin?
What's that?
Did we leave Shin behind?
Shin's on the floor, and he's trying to crawl over by you guys, but he's extremely weak.
I completely forgot about him, if I'm honest. I resigned him to be one of the gorillas.
Harley and Charlie are both like, now that I realize their names rhyme, we're Harley and Charlie. Yes, they're like, wait, we should leave Shin as a decoy. It's a chance to prove that he's one of us.
That's.
I 100% agree with that. Yes.
London doesn't have time to think too much and just bolts for the. I guess this room that we opened.
Yes.
Is there a place to hide
room.
on the inside?
Yes, there's many places to hide, either amongst the bodies. There's also a second door on the far end of the wall. There's also what looks like tables that have been set up. The tables are covered in what is clearly human blood, and there are jars where you recognize they're preserving organs in here. It looks like human hearts and human brains.
Yes, okay. I jump into the corpse pile and pretend to be dead.
You do that thing.
Just straight into the corpse pile. They're coming! I'll play dead!
That's
what does Joe
just
do?
disgusting.
I'm just gonna stand in a corner.
Pose in the corner.
Do you have any sort of weapon that you draw?
I got my machete.
All right.
Does it seem to be that this is like, are they dissecting bodies in here? Can we tell the tools they use to dismember them?
Well, in the medical field, we refer to them as instruments, not tools. Sorry, my father was a doctor. There's no tool, Grant. So, daddyissues.com. These you can see there are a wide variety of surgical instruments that have been used. It looks like what they do is they wheel in kits. They open the kits. They use every part of the kit, and then they drop the kit into a chute of some sort. You're just kind of following this with your eyes, and you're kind of following the logic. And at the bottom of the chute is a black glowing fire with a similar purple haze as would descend from the sky in the cloud. There seems to be a purple haze around that black fire that's down the chute. But you can see that they've dropped tools down there, and you can see a number of tools that are sitting in the black flames.
Does it seem to be the way they clean them, or are they looking to destroy them?
Your guess is a little of both. Some things get cleaned, other things are destroyed.
Oh. Okay. Alright, I guess I play possum too. I go join Dan in the pile of bodies.
Okay. And Harley and Charlie join the puppy pile. They're like, when in Rome! And you notice they kind of awkwardly hold hands as they lay down. And they make this uncomfortable eye contact, and they quickly let go, as you guys notice. And with that, you hear the sounds of the hovercraft. It is very quiet. You'd almost think it was just the wind blowing, but you can see it kind of pull around to the side, and a landing ramp slowly descends from the hovercraft and touches ground. 4 large ape-like creatures, these are clearly Grimjacks, are descending the ramp towards Shen's body. What do? Do you observe, or do you engage?
Oh, I observe very quietly, holding my breath.
All right.
I think I'm gonna pop the shield emitters and go charge out there.
All right, so yeah, he turns on his force field and charges out. There are 4 Grimjacks that are completely caught off guard. You have the initiative. Are you attacking them? What's up?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Go ahead and make a speed attack roll.
Speed attack. All right. I'm gonna throw an edge on this.
Okay.
I don't know
And
if
you're
I'm trained
swinging
in
your
anything.
machete? Are you swinging your machete?
No, I think I'm gonna pummel him.
Okay. Good old fisticuffs. Queensberry rules. You come out and you engage. So this is actually going to be strength, unless you're using some form of martial arts. So go ahead and make a strength task difficulty 5. So you're going to need a 15 or higher to hit him.
Okay, I'm gonna spend the 3 points.
Okay, you're going to spend an effort. You're using effort. So effort
That's
to
what it is,
our
effort.
audience. effort is when you can reduce the task difficulty of something by spending points in your pool. Now, there's a risk inherent with this. Your pool is also your hit points. So, if Ethan loses his entire pool, he will begin taking damage. All right, so go ahead and make an strength attack roll.
16.
So yeah, you needed a 15 to hit him. You hit him, and so you sock him in his fat gorilla face, and he's like, "Brr!" And it almost looked like you cracked his orbital bone on his face, and it begins to swell and shut. And blood, dark crimson blood, is running down his cheek. The rest of the Grimjacks are going to try to get their hands on you. Now, you do have a force field around you. It adds 4 to your armor. Which means even if they hit you, there's a chance your force field is just going to reduce all damage. So the rest of the Grimjacks are all attacking. I'm not supposed to roll dice. Sorry. Go ahead and make a speed defense roll.
Defense.
4 times.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing I have to do. Where? 14.
One of them socks you. You dodge the second one. You dodge the third one.
Oh. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled wrong. 9.
All right. So you get punched twice, and so you lose 4 from your strength pool after getting socked in the head by the gorillas, and they're starting to pummel him. And you guys see this as Joe the pilot is getting. Wait. Your armor reduces all the damage. No damage is dealt to you, so they're socking you, and it looks like Joe's taking a hellacious beating. He is perfectly fine. The blows are landing with full force, but he is taking no damage. Now he gets moved by the weight, but he's not injured at all. You know, he gets pushed by the weight, but he does not take any damage.
Our other 2 rhyming teammates, are they in action at all? What are they doing?
Harley and
Just for
Charlie?
my knowledge. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're dreaming about each other last we checked, but they're laying low, and they're like, dang, it looks like Joe's getting his butt beat out there, but he's got a heck of a chin, doesn't he? You know, and they're just like, man, he just thinks no.
And that 20 for Joe.
He's in that 20, yeah.
I'm gonna need that.
Get him, Joe. I'll be fine.
Alright, well, what does the group on the ground want to do?
Well, you know, I think Joe's doing a stand-up job and proving himself not to be a gorilla in the doing so I applaud his effort. However, diplomacy is clearly is pretty long gone, and that's really all I do. So, you know, I think now it's in Joe's hands. You know, the ball's in his court.
Alright, and does London want to do anything?
I can't really fight, but I do pick up. You said there are some like medical instruments that they would have probably been using to do this. So I find a scaffold, a really, really like sharp one. And I'm gonna. Can I throw it from a distance?
So here's what you do find. You find a sealed kit, and there is a button you can push to release on it. All you'd be able to do this round is release the button, and then find an instrument to throw the next round. Would you like to push the button and open the kit?
I push the button.
There's nothing but swaddling gauze on the inside. No, I'm just kidding. There's a variety of surgical instruments, and you do find the scalpel, and you are ready to throw. And with that, we come back around to Joe's turn. Joe, you're currently, taking on all comers.
Yeah. I mean, let's burn that crit. Let's machete a gorilla.
So yeah, you're going to do extra damage, and it's going to be a nat 20. So essentially, you sever off one of the gorilla's arms, reminiscent to how you severed off Shin's arms. This is the same one who you broke his eye socket. Yeah, that gorilla, he's still alive, but he's dropped to a knee. The rest of the gorillas begin to pummel you. There's still 3, and I need you to make some speed defense rolls. Go ahead and make 3.
Speed defense. Where'd my dice go? 9. 15 or 13. I'm not doing so well.
No.
14.
They pick you up, and they are carrying you to the hovercraft.
Cool, perfect.
So they just
That's where I
kind of
want
get
to
their
go.
gorilla paws on you, and like they're kind of stretching you out to all 4s, and they're going to take you.
Oh dear, that's
Perfect. Exactly where I want to be.
Oh
Doing great.
no.
he is a gorilla, and they're taking him home.
Okay.
Probably fine. You'll probably be
All
fine.
right.
I mean,
London,
he can
what
handle
do you want to
himself.
do? Do you want to throw the scalpel?
Yeah, I want to try to throw the scalpel and hit one of them, maybe to drop Joe or to give him an advantage, like a foot or a leg or something, to kind of, maybe in the hand.
Go ahead and make a speed roll. The task difficulty is we need a 5. You need to roll 15 or higher.
Oh, and I have a
If you have
skill.
any- Yeah.
Yeah, with light weapons. I can use light weapons without penalty. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Essentially, it means you're skilled in using them. If you were unskilled, you could still use them. There'd be a penalty. So, but what we're going to do is say, since you're skilled, you can reduce the task difficulty by 1. It is now a 4. You need a 12 or higher to hit them.
Or a 15!
You hit them. Bam! So, yeah,
Aha!
the knife hits it, and this is the gorilla that eye socket was broken, had an arm cut off, and then a scalpel lands in the back of his neck, and he kind of drops, and the rest of the gorillas turn, and they point right at London, a big, hairy, sweaty, ink-like finger, and the Grimjacks drop Joe the pilot and begin charging towards their, what we'll call, surgical room.
Ooh!
Dan, what are you up to?
My plan's going very well right now. Insofar as I haven't died, and it looks like Joe either is a gorilla or is becoming a gorilla. It's unclear to me right now, but I would like to research more and understand what the agenda is. So I think the best way to do this is to join the gorillas.
So
What
I
I'm gonna
believe
do-
we're up to a viewer decision right now, and
Looks like we are.
part of my interruption. I want the viewers to decide whether or not Dan himself is a gorilla or not. And
I think we know the answer to that question.
yes, he just turned out to be a gorilla the whole time. And if you don't mind, I need to grab a drink real quick. My throat is quite sore, so just give me a second.
All right. Whilst that happens, let me just put up the poll. Am I a gorilla? Yes.
Oh
Or-
no.
Yes. Those are the 2 options. Is Dan a gorilla? Feel free to vote on that, and let me know what you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. For that, your decision.
Is that a
Anything
decision?
could happen.
Could-
Yes. You can decide
It is?
how to say yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's left yes or right yes?
Right. There's a big difference between the 2.
I mean, left's winning.
That's true. It's kind of 50-50 now. Man, people are torn. This field, it's never
Wow.
been closer than this. This is a tight race right now. Holy shit.
Really nailing it.
Man. All right.
Okay, yeah. I see where this is going. It's leaning one direction.
All right, leaning towards the right, like a communist gorilla. Is what Dan is right now.
She's far leaning right. Oh, he's coming left a little bit. He's back left.
Oh, he's coming more center.
All right, I'm gonna refill my coffee too. When I
Yeah,
get back, we'll
yeah.
see if he's a left or a right gorilla.
Support the underdog. Interactive channel. Oh man, I like my gorilla
This is
center.
the most difficult decision of all time. Oh, this is great. The best part is, it's like which half of his face is actually a gorilla.
Was it his mom or was it his dad?
Which side of his family does he gorillas?
Oh, he's leaning left now. That's had a change of heart.
There is a peacock somewhere with a vicious lust for recently made gorillas. I have been turned. I think at some point Dan, in his conspiracy, life, has gone so far as to find the DNA of a gorilla and he's been bitten by a gorilla, I think, and by a radioactive gorilla.
He's a were-gorilla.
He's a were-gorilla, and under these circumstances,
he's got a little bit of that hot monkey love, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
That's the banana bug.
It looks like I am definitely some kind of gorilla.
Yeah.
There we go. Gorillas are known to bite. Exactly.
So yes, you are in fact one of the Grimjacks yourself, and you're starting to come to this realization that, yes, the Grimjack 21502s. And it's your Grimjack 21502. You have a number. You have a brand.
We have a barcode.
Can I see it? Oh, that's what happens. I see it on the back of his neck while he lays in the dead bodies. His tattoo. Brand.
You have an odd goatee and a funny little hat, and there's a list of comical voices and characteristics.
A strange love of wigs.
Yes, that guy. I love Greg. Yeah, you're slowly coming to this realization that if they're all gorillas, you yourself are also a gorilla, and you've come to this conclusion that you are Grimjack number 21502.
I'm the Jason Bourne of gorillas. I'm like, who am I? Who am I? And then, figure it out.
It's great. But the gorillas have set Joe down and they're charging. So to catch up again, Dan, what would you like to do? Harley and Charlie are they're up and they're running now, covered in the blood of the slain crew members. They've decided to open the back door and go deeper into the dome.
So what I would like to do at this point, having realized that I am a gorilla and having this 3-second sudden close-up on my eyes as all of my past is revealed to me as I grew up as a baby gorilla and then eventually got bitten by a human and turned into some kind of radioactive human gorilla. I don't know what happened there, but certainly there's a 3-second backstory which makes zero logic, and then Dan processes it all, is fine with it, and suddenly his true nature being revealed. He tears off this human skin. And reveals his gorilla nature. And what I would like to do is to just sort of join in. Just join in at the back of the queue of the gorillas who are taking Joe in, and so join in. I want to be on the hunt for.
Get off and join in.
This is a standard Saturday night for me. I want to tear off my skin and join in.
It's like tear away pants. It's so easy.
You start helping them. They're like, Grimjack Prime, thank you for assisting us. They say in their gorilla voices, and they now refer to you as Grimjack Prime. They seem to know you, and you feel a kinship amongst them. This is going to turn into a banana peeling contest. How dare you?
Magnanimous dispensation.
Holy shit, and that's 10 wild magic surges from Mage Hand Press, split amongst the party. So that's what, 3 for each of us and 4 for one person?
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Can one of them apply to Grant?
I don't need those. Yeah, let's do some wild magic surges, guys.
Alrighty. Who do you want to roll these for?
It's going to be, it's gotta be Grimjack Prime, Dan.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, I'll roll 4. I'll look these up for you guys as well. Alright, so real quick for Grimjack Prime, I got 8193. All coins within 50 yards appear in a heap at the target's point. Maybe the coins are the pendants? Could be the gorilla pendant things. Or it could just be money. The shins. I take all the shins. My second one is, before each spell, I must ingest a pinch of dust. Classic gorilla behavior. It's part of the gorilla agenda.
Right over the shoulder for good luck.
Yeah, that's one time a gorilla camp is. Right, there you go. Next weapon nearby to draw blood will vanish if it's ever cleaned. So keep those bloody weapons nice and dirty. And last but not least, for myself, 7984. While I sleep, I am absolutely invulnerable to harm.
Well then. It is the gorilla way.
Right.
It's like a pheromone you give off.
Yeah. For London, London's arms.
Sesame Street character.
Oh my god. London's arms can't be bound by cloth, rope, or vines. Alright.
Don't know why. Okay.
London is also unharmed by extreme sound. So like a wailing scream wouldn't do
So
it.
take me to an EDM concert. Let's do this.
Right, yeah, it's already blown out. 1819, you turn bright blue while you are bleeding. You big old gorilla.
Blue gorilla.
Yeah.
Pretend there's some of that.
And even Joe's allies think that he is guilty of many unspeakable crimes.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay.
We're about to commit one, by the way.
Joe also has numerous stigmata, as foretold by prophecy.
Gorilla prophecy.
He's a messianic ape.
Yeah. And last but not least for Joe, a heavy chain runs along the entire length of your alimentary canal. Or alimentary canal. I can't read. It's like a body one, right?
That, please.
Alimentary is apparently relating to nourishment or sustenance, so maybe like your big old food pipe. What I'm thinking is that there is a metal heavy chain which runs along the entire length of that canal.
So it, like inside the body?
Presumably inside your body, because you're some kind of stigmata
chain god.
Chain demon who's been chained inside here by the this fucking
Oh my god, we're yeah.
Speaking of crimes, can I commit one right now?
What would you like to do?
Does it count as a crime if you ask permission?
Yes.
I'd like to get into the airship, drive it over the gorillas, and then turn it off.
You make it to the airship, and that's what you do this round. You are now at the hovercraft, and you can run down the gorillas if you'd like. Because they've set you down to charge forward to London. Now, London, it is your turn now, so you have scalpeled one gorilla, and that gorilla has dropped dead. There are 3 Grimjacks and Grimjack Prime himself, Dan, surrounding you. Charlie and Harley have run deeper into this building. What would you like to do?
I am going to deceive them. As they get closer, I yell, "Quick! They stole the thing!" Get them! And I point behind our Charles and Harley. Charlie and Harley.
You do that, so it's a task difficulty of 5. You'll need a 15 or higher. What skills, abilities, or effort or edge do you have to reduce it?
I feel like I do have. It says 1 effort, though I'm not sure in what.
Okay, so that means you can spend 3 points from a pool to reduce it by 1 difficulty level.
Okay, then I will spend 3 from my intellect because I have tons of those points to do that, and we'll just give it a roll. Not very good.
So it would need to be a 12 or higher. Now you have an experience point. Would you like to re-roll?
Oh, yes, I would.
All right.
I would like to do that. At a 15!
You succeed. and you have deceived the lesser of the Grimjacks. He goes, after them, and they run past you, and they're like, come, Grimjack Prime. Dan, you're starting to realize that you may be less ape than you thought out. Like, your brain's starting to come back around. It might have been that you went through the shock therapy of all those wild magic surges, and you now have other issues to deal with. However, you still have the barcode on the back of your neck, and you are, in fact, a gorilla man. But the viewers decided...
Undeniable facts, yeah.
Some things cannot be avoided.
I remember now my years in the lab with the adamantium gorilla exoskeleton being attached to me. It's just my dog tags that are keeping me in the game as Dan thinks back to his time in Striker Laboratories or whatever the fuck ever. He's got like 20 origin stories apparently. So he's really confused. He's got all these origins coming from him. He doesn't know what to do. And he's like, I will come. Brother? He's confused about who he is.
Father! They reach out and they bring you back into the back room. Meanwhile, it comes back around to Joe. Go ahead and make a speed, your performance speed test. The difficulty for you is 3, so you need a 9 or higher to start running down gorillas from behind.
Okay. I do have something called Tinker that allows you to use the device to do something different from its original purpose.
What are you... describe how you are tinkering.
I'm turning a hovercraft into a sledgehammer, basically.
So you're picking it up and hitting it with them like a sledgehammer, or you just want to, like... Here's how I picture it in the fiction. Like, you're moving some levers, hitting some buttons, you're causing, like, the hood to kind of tilt, and you're going to make, like, a flying whack-a-mole front by, like, throwing the lever up and down so you can thwomp gorillas with it. Something like that. You're misusing
I thought it was more
it.
like scoop up into the air and then shut off the engine and land on them.
Oh, I like that even better. Go ahead and make your roll. He truly is a devilish boy.
And then I'm going to expend some effort on this, because why not?
All right.
I keep on clicking on the wrong windows. 14.
The gorillas are now pancakes. But you can't get the hovercraft to start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gorillas, like Dan's new family of apes, was ready to follow him deeper in. Then Joe, the pilot, starts flying in on the hovercraft and just swamps all of them. Just. So you missed one gorilla. However, he looks a lot like Dan.
I think I do that thing where I stand, like, put one leg up on the top of the hovercraft and, like, you guys missed me?
Yes! Oh. Quickly, into the hovercraft! Go!
Joe, pardon my intrusion. May I intrude?
Of course.
So take an experience point. Who would you like to give the other experience point to?
Let's go ahead and give it to London.
All right. You notice a countdown ticking on the hovercraft. It's going down. It seems to be counting down from 10 minutes. Beep, 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 beep. Oh. And all lights on the consoles are flashing red now.
We got 10 minutes.
For what? Can I roll an intellect to see if I can tell? Based on the mechanical intuition, is it like a bomb, or is it counting down to some other event?
The last time Ethan had a countdown, he had the freaking Doomsday device, but and I think Will actually ended up setting it off in the game, but I can't remember. So
that sounds like something I would do.
Yes.
Yes.
So, your guess is that this hovercraft will explode. London gets a flute that, when played, compels a nearby person of her choice to tell an embarrassing truth.
I like that.
Yes.
Oh, I play flute now.
Please don't play it around me. I have too many
I have a lot of
embarrassing
embarrassing truths.
Yes. Okay.
The gorillas, oh no.
Oh no, well they're not around anymore. We squished them, right? But one of them, we have one that's still alive. Yes. I shall play him some jazz flute.
Yeah.
No,
If he needs to tell the truth.
The gorilla that's still alive, yeah. So you play it in Gorilla Dan, Grimjack Prime, must now tell an embarrassing truth.
I remember now when I built this gorilla suit and I became the Gorilla Man. And then I forgot. And that's where I am right now.
That's not embarrassing at all.
I'm waiting for you to meet Dan's gorilla wife on the inside.
It is for me. Because if there was one thing I was meant to not forget, it is that I was actually a gorilla
Mary, that's what you were trying to
the
forget.
whole time.
What he doesn't realize is he's a diplomat from Gorilla Planet who isn't the people, and he's just like, no, I was a human. I lived amongst them. I had a house.
I had a wife and kids, man.
Yeah, so the question now is... yeah, go ahead.
Can we defuse this bomb?
You can certainly try, as Matthew Mercer would say.
I would
I'm
like
not going
to.
to tell you what the test difficulty is.
Okay. But I have this mechanical intuition thing.
Yes. So you can make a test difficulty. You can make an intellect check, and you will be able to reduce the difficulty of the unknown number.
Whoa, I only rolled a 9.
Would you like to use your experience point to reroll?
I would, because I can do that. I will re-roll it. 11!
All right. You see it skip from 10 minutes remaining to 2 minutes remaining. Just...
Is Joe still in it?
I'm out.
yeah, his legs still up, like, miss me?
Can I grab one of the gorilla bodies? Is there like is it thrust pedal? Is it, I don't know how it like moves forward, but I'd like to ride it so that we can, like, it can just go speeding
It's not
towards
flying
the gorilla
anymore. Once Joe cut it off, it could not start again, and then the self-destruct mechanism began to run.
So it's
do we
not
go
hovering
further?
anymore.
Do we go inside
No,
or
it's
do
not
we run
hovering.
away?
Well, run one direction, and I pick up some, like, my scalpel, because that's my weapon of choice, and I start tearing it towards the city. Or out somewhere. We gotta get away from it.
All right. So you can start running back the way you came, or you can run where Charlie and Harley ran, deeper into the structure. Which direction would you like to go?
Quickly, follow the rhyming twins. And I bolt after them inside.
Yeah,
Yes,
same.
and you notice they seem dumbfounded. There is evidence here of a struggle. There are many slain gorillas in here, and there is a trail of blood leaving out a eastern door, and the footprints that have tracked through the blood seem to be the same shape and tread as your standard issue military boots. Meaning these might have been crew members that escaped.
Oh, I see. That's a standard issue military boot. For surely our crew.
Someone's crew.
Quickly! Explosion!
Explosion! Says Charlie and Harley. They look at each other and they start
Run!
running out the eastern door.
Yeah,
What
I
does Dan
follow.
do
I
during all this?
Don't know who I am, but I'm coming. I remember now, this really reminds Dan of a time when he was a child and he watched the murder of his parents before his very eyes. And that was when he became Gorilla Man for the first time, when he decided to stand up for injustice against his people. And so
I knew where this was going immediately.
he hops on his gorilla mobile and
He broke me!
he's gonna run. He's gonna follow them. He's coming. He says, "Don't worry, I'm coming."
Justice!
I'm sorry, guys. He's got me in the goofy place. He's been doing this for 35 hours, and he's a kindred spirit. This is great. Gorilla Man. Where's the other hovercraft going? Sorry. Alright. So, following the tracks, they seem to be leading up towards the mountain of smoke. You can also see over the horizon a glistening city of tall, cylindrical buildings. That is most likely the legendary Grimlockopolis, which is where the Grimjacks live, or Grimjackopolis. Yeah, so you can see that it's in the shadow of Smoky Mountain. So you only have about 3 hours of sunlight left. The hovercraft detonates, exploding and destroying the structure behind you. However, as you were trekking, you have noticed, London, amongst the slain gorilla bodies, there is a... what would be the best way to describe it? It was in the one of the medical kits. There was essentially... it almost looked like a small personal electronic device. Would you like to examine this device more closely? I assume you simply have the medical kit with you.
Yes. You said intellect?
You can roll intellect, but I just asked if you'd like to examine it more closely.
I would, yeah. Yes, I would.
Okay, so let me...
Oh! Not good.
You know what this is without rolling, and you would have succeeded. It would have been a task difficulty of 1.
Okay.
You notice there is a place to place your thumb on this data pad, and then you have to hold it for about 7 seconds, and you know that it will cause kind of like an augmented reality set of wings to appear on you. These are cyber wings, and the computer will digitize and create actual wings that will allow you to fly for the next hour. So you have magical gorilla. Yes. So you can become a flying
gorilla wings.
And yes, I know someone in chat's going to say, gorillas are apes, not monkeys, Grant. I get it. My wife was a zoologist. So, yeah, so... Sorry, someone in chat clipped the superhero we need. Yes, that's Twilight's Falling. Love that guy. Yeah, so you now... you have access to that, and that is a Cypher. It's single use, so if you use it, you'll have wings for the next hour. You have a choice. You can head up Smoky Mountain for the night, or continue back to your crash site. Which would you like to go to?
Big old Smoky Mountain? Where
there's something back at the crash site, right?
A magnanimous dispensation.
Main hand sees the Statue of Liberty mostly buried off in the distance where Gorilla Joker is awaiting Dan the Dark Gorilla, Dan's family held hostage. Oh my god. This is amazing. Dan's like, he's like... For 1 second, Dan's like, wait a minute. I know what I have to do. Gorilla Joker. The stinks of Gorilla Joker. It's his plan. Of my family. I'm gonna have to stop him if I'm gonna save Gorilla City.
How do we do that?
Well, the feeling we're gonna have to go to the Mountain of Liberty.
I believe in Harvey Dent. Sorry.
Charlie Harvey.
Do you know this mountain well? Is it dangerous, Dan?
Was it question for Charlie and Harley? Do you have one, Joe?
Remember everything about it. Suddenly, it's all coming back to me. We're gonna have to get up there with the bat wings. Take down Gorilla Joker. One last time.
It was the best of us.
Let's do it.
Castle Mac Lydia.
Okay, let's do it.
I want to go. Yeah.
All right, so you're headed up to the mountain?
Correct.
Totally, I am.
Okay. So, you come to the foot of the smoky Grimjack Mountain, and the trail of blood does continue up the mountain. It did not go back to the crash site. There are 3 paths up this mountain. You can either enter and go to a cave system. It will be very dark inside, and it will be grim, as the Jack says. You can go up essentially like a switchback trail and hike up the mountain, or you can scale, or London could always fly up with the gorilla wings.
It's true. I will probably do that with my newly acquired gorilla wings. Can I carry anybody, or am I going to be the only person that can fly?
You could attempt to carry someone.
Okay, I would like to do that. I release my gorilla wings to their fullest wingspan, and I scoop up.
20.
Yeah, and I scoop up my other gorilla friend, the diplomat, and Justice Bringer.
All right.
Take me with you.
Make a strength. Make a strength. Difficulty 3. So you need a 9 or higher to get a good, solid grip on them.
Ooh, can I reroll that?
Do you have any
6.
experience left?
I have 1 more.
Do you have any skills that might have reduced that, like scooping up gorilla men?
I mean, I planned not to do that this game. Let's see. No. Let me see. Skill and knowledge. Yeah. No, all my stuff's like healing, empathy. Yeah, nothing physical.
You could have, if you in the future, you could declare it in advance. You could use effort and then lower it by spending some points.
Okay.
3 points.
Yeah, let's do that. I do have 1 effort.
Yeah, so you can spend 3 points from your strength pool, and that reduces the difficulty to 2. And you now have scooped Dan up, and it's this enchanted moment as you're like twisting up, taking him to gorilla heaven. Joe, you are down below.
I'll come back for you.
Yeah, I'll come back for you. When you get to the top, you can see the massive statue of Laugh, Love, Lindy of Liberty. It's the Lindy of Liberty, and yeah, it's the center of the backdrop. Yeah, and you know there is a group of Grimjacks at the top of the mountain, and there's at least 20 of them, and they seem to.
King Kong. It's just like the Empire State Liberty one statue with Grimjacks at the top.
Yeah.
Crawling all over the place.
We're coming down the hovercraft, like gunning him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have gone to the top, and you can kind of see that you are in fact on Gorilla Planet. It appears that they have captured your crew members, who they have stripped down to their bare essentials, and they are taunting them with these horrific-looking vines. They're holding and they're dangling them, and there are human heads that are growing off the vines, and they're speaking in a dead tongue of some sort. They're definitely speaking articulately and coherently, but they're kind of like mocking and tormenting them with these severed human heads.
Dan, what do your gorilla ears understand what they speak?
I don't know, do they?
You can always give it a shot. Go ahead and make an intellect task 3. You are a diplomat, and you have had dealings here.
Sure. Let's give that a roll. That is a success.
Yep. You totally succeed. The human heads are explaining how the gorillas are superior, the apes are superior. Humans only exist to keep the Grimjacks alive. And so long as the forest of humans grows to the far east, the Grimjacks will continue to thrive.
Okay. I relay this information.
Yeah, and
what do we do? Do we save our people? Do we bomb them? Do we? How do? I feel like we're just circling. Like
You are, yeah. They haven't noticed you yet. Although the sun's starting to set, and then they look up and they see the silhouette of, the massive 20-foot wingspan.
Flying gorilla.
Yeah, the flying gorilla.
I think if we still have the gorilla pendants, the explosives,
Yeah.
we should just bombing run them. That's what
I think
is
this is
going
a
through
good time.
Dan's head.
Yeah.
You do that thing.
Yeah, London
He
agrees.
remembers
I'll
when
try to steer him.
Dan remembers when he became the captain of, when he used to have this shield and his flying gate behind him, which deflect all harm, stands for justice and indeed liberty. And this brings him back to his core roots, which is bombing people. So he throws down these pendants, which will explode upon his enemies from up high.
Roll 2 d20s.
I will do just that. I rolled a 18 and a nat 20.
And nat 20.
Wow.
So, all right. So, there are massive electrical explosions setting off, and they are exploding all over the gorilla people. They are decimating and electrocuting the grotesque human heads growing on the vines. And alas, Mage Hand ensures Dan gets a gorilla utility belt. Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Amazing.
You have a gorilla utility belt. No, it's yellow, and it's yellow bananas.
It's like a banana belt, yeah.
Yes, I like that. And yeah, that's a heck of a roll. So you get a minor effect of damage boost, and you also get a major and massive effect of damage boost. Now, you have nuked the majority of the gorillas. The few remaining gorillas, there's about 6 Grimjacks remaining, seem to be trying to grab and take your crew and shovel them off to what looks like a small shuttle of some sort. It looks like it might even be able to leave the planet, if possibly. So those Grimjacks are shoveling them towards the shuttle. What do you do? Don't forget Joe's down below.
Yes.
Going up the switchbacks.
Okay, I assume yeah. It's going to take you three turns to reach the top, Joe.
Okay.
As we don't, whatever you do, don't hit the functioning ship. That could be our way off this planet.
All right, so
We can't let him escape. With Gorilla Joker. Get away with it again.
As long as he is shy.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to scan the environment and see if I can see a gorilla who's particularly enjoying this madness. Who looks.
All right. Yes, there is. I'm not going to make Harambe or Coco jokes. No, it's not in me. There is a single gorilla, and man, I'm gonna get kicked off the stream if I start doing puns. It's that hour though. But there is a single lone gorilla, a mad gorilla, if you will, and it has strange scarring on its face. If you were to talk to it, it'd probably tell you some long story about how it got the scars, and it's essentially the gorilla Joker is down there leading the other gorillas.
The instrument of all my pain. Okay, so whatever your name is, Doc, and down there. You're gonna have to send me down there. And have to let me go.
What? So dramatic. Okay. London's like,
so here's,
done.
Yeah. And here's how the gorilla utility belt works. Anytime Dan the Diplomat, Gorilla Man, says he wants to use the utility belt, I will play a random Cypher from a deck of Cypher cards that I have, here on my desk, and he must use his action for the round to do that. But we could get some weird gorilla shenanigans going. So that's how the utility belt will work.
Okay, I think
Joe, you'll be up in another round.
Yeah, I think Dan remembers his time aboard the Titanic when he swore that he would never let go. But this time is different because now he has to.
He feels it deep down.
Yeah, he feels it deep within his soul as he gives the amulet to grandmother's amulet to London, and says,
You're gonna have to let me go.
No! I say with a single tear in my eye. We need you, Dan. What do we call you, Dan? Gorilla Dan the Batman.
Gorilla Dan.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be okay. You
Okay, can I swoop down to make sure? I want it to be at a height where dropping.
save the kids.
It's too late. We don't have any kids. Yeah, what kids?
and it's at that point that I unbuckle myself from the the bat wings.
You float away. You disappear into the shadows below, and you are now surrounded by six
as I fall backwards, that's when the one ring falls off from my finger, and as I fly backwards in the sky.
All right.
Can I loop around and go pick up Joe?
Yeah, well, Joe has just reached the top. Now, you are able to land wherever you would like to land. Where would you like to land? Or do whatever you'd like to do. You can always attack from above.
I would like to stay. I'd like to stay at a distance. Maybe can I land on the Laugh, Love, Liberty statue?
Yes, yes. You land on the statue of Laugh, Love, Liberty, and up there is 3 mysterious packages. The first one is a statue of an older woman. And it has the initials MC on it. The second one is of a almost like an elemental humanoid that is in a yoga pose. And the third one looks to be a scientist of Germanic origin. Each has a special package on it. Which one would you like to take a package from if you would like to?
Joe has feelings about this. Maybe the yoga posy one?
All right. There, yes, and it has, that one has the initial of an A on it. So, this package is known as the Attractor. So, any one item within a 300-foot radius of you that is not anchored, you can make fly towards you.
Oh, cool.
And
yes, that sounds great. Like the Force. Want it. Gorilla Force.
Yes. And Joe, you're up.
I can. I'm going to be punching my way towards the ship.
All right. So go ahead and make a strength attack roll to punch your way past the first of the gorillas.
Okay.
You're going to need a 15 or higher.
We're going to expend some effort.
Nice.
And do the punchy thing.
All right. So 12 or higher. You're hit with
19.
extra damage. So, you know, and a gorilla squares off with you, you kind of faint and then knock it out with a dynamite right straight, and it just drops like a sack of potatoes, and you move one step closer. There is a single gorilla between you and the landing ramp. What's that?
Am I just in a queue? Like, am I waiting in line to get on the ship and just punching people?
Essentially.
Turn them around.
You'll be up on the ship in the next round if you'd like to get in there. It's just there is a gorilla in the way. Let's cut back to Dan the diplomat, the gorilla man. So you are up on deck now. What would you like to do?
What's my proximity to Gorilla Joker?
About 20 feet or so. He's in short range.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna use my banana rangs I'm just gonna throw one at the Joker and say, "Joker, it's over." And off my utility belt, I'm just gonna chuck something at him.
All right, so yeah, you pull out the banana ring, you throw it, and the banana ring has the following effect. So we're going to play a random Cypher card, and this one does the following. So I have a deck of Cypher cards, and this will hit automatically. Holy moly! Yeah, so the Gorilla Joker is now trapped in a sonic nullification stasis field. So this orb kind of appears around him, and it's floating in the air, and he is now trapped in your bubble.
Ooh.
Awesome.
You and me, Joker. One last time.
Why so serious?
Did you just pokey capture this guy?
Totally.
He did!
Yeah,
And that was the random
did.
Cypher.
It was super effective.
I call on you.
Now, there's no telling how long he'll hold it. London, you're up on deck now.
I'm flying. I have this thing that draws items near me. What qualifies as an item? Is there a weight?
Any object that is your size or smaller.
Joker Gorilla is significantly larger than I am, isn't he?
Well, we would say gorilla size or smaller. They're roughly in the same size
Because I would
range.
love to have, from my height, draw it near me and
You do
how
that
small
thing.
inside. Yep.
And he appears. Yeah, and you now can toss him off the side. He goes, "Woo," falling down and bounces, and he's rolling away like a giant hamster ball into the last light of the setting sun. You have disposed of Gorilla Joker. He may be back one day. And with that, a group of gorillas come out, and they have...
Oh, no.
There's one gorilla. He's larger than the others, and he has a massive gorilla bazooka that he is firing at Dan. I need Dan to make a speed defense roll, task difficulty of 7. So you need to roll a 21 or higher. What are you going to do to roll lower that?
I think the answer is nothing. Because I don't think I'm skilled in anything less. I'm going to spend my pool of speed to reduce this by 3 points.
Okay.
Let's go down to 4. So I'm looking for math. 12.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a
That's
roll.
a natural 1.
Oh!
GM intrusion! Alright. So, you have a choice. The Gorilla Bazooka will either be deflected and shoot London out of the sky, or shoot Joe before Joe makes it to the ship. Which of your teammates are going to take this shot?
For a moment, and thinks, and he remembers the time that Joe said to him, "I can carry it for you, Mr. Dan, but I can carry you," as he helped him up this mountain. And it has to be the doctor, because right now in Dan's current psychosis, he's forgotten about the time that they were on the ship together, and all he remembers is his best friend Joe and all of the pots and pans that he carried. So,
all right,
he's gonna say that London has to take the hit here.
All right.
There's
So, okay. So here's how this works. And now also to remind the players that at any point you can use an action to recover 1d6 plus 1 points into any of your stat pools.
Oh.
So just to clarify, as I was pulling this up, what was it going to be, London or Joe? It was going to be Joe,
London.
correct? Oh, it was London.
I want to like
London.
save Joe, and I want to jam
Okay.
London.
All right, London. You take 12 points of damage. Your armor would reduce this if you have any. You may not. And essentially, what happens is it first comes out of your strength pool. Do you have any points left in your strength pool?
I don't even know. Hang on, let me check the PDF for that. What does my strength pool say? It says no armor. Where do I find strength? Might?
It should be a number near the top. Yes, your might. I'm sorry.
Your might. I have 5 in my might left.
You have
Very
5
low.
left after taking a shot?
No, I have 5 total right now.
Okay, so what happens is you first lose 5 from your might, and now it costs extra points to do to spend effort to reduce rolls, as well as you no longer can have minor or major effects. Next, an additional 7 points comes out of your speed pool. How many points do you have left in your speed pool?
9. So now I have 2 left.
Yes. So you're not debilitated. What would happen is if it had depleted your speed pool, you would be debilitated, which means the only actions you'd be able to make is like crawling
Right.
a small distance. So at this point, yes, you are impaired. So it's a little harder. You've been shot out of the sky. And you notice that an electrical net, not neck, an electrical net is now wrapped around you, and you have fallen, essentially restrained. Joe, do you want to continue to punch fight your way to the ship, get up onto the ship, or do you want to go help London?
I'm gonna keep punching the ship. I'm gonna keep punching the ship.
You break it, it ends up looking like my car. So you've made it up the ship, and the large gorilla with the bazooka sees you, and he says, "I'm no fan of yours, Captain Joe," or Pilot Joe. And what happens is he's going to enter into a duel with you. I'd like you to make 3 punch fight checks, and if you succeed on all 3, you'll knock out this massive gorilla. If you succeed on 2 of them, you will have him close to being defeated. If you only succeed on 1, then the gorilla has you captured. So go ahead and make 3 checks. So not gonna work, not gonna work. So as you approach the gorilla and you get ready to fight, he catches your...
I would like to re-roll one of those.
Experience? Yeah,
I do.
Experience.
All right, let's warm this one up. Gosh.
No. So the gorilla kind of like easily dodges your puny punches. Your final punch he catches between his pecs, and he flexes his pecs, and it breaks your hand. And then he kind of laughs, and then he swats you unconscious with the bazooka. And he's holding your limp body, and he looks at Gorilla Man, and he goes, "And there's a lot more where that came from. What are you going to do about it?" How does Dan the Gorilla Man handle this situation? And then I'd like to know what London does immediately.
The only way he knows how, and that currently is with his utility belt. And what he would like to do is, instead of just pulling something out from his utility belt, he's going to unstrap the banana rang utility belt and throw it.
Oh no! All right,
so let go part of his identity, but it has to be done.
No, this is the only
All right.
way.
So here's what happens. The Gorilla Banana utility belt hits and lands, and the following effects happen. So, now, the first thing that happens is corrosive gas ammunition goes off, and it does 8 points of damage to anything in the cloud, and that means it's going to hurt both Cornelius, Joe, and Joe's going to take 8 points of damage to his might pool. How's Joe doing might pool wise?
I still have 3.
All right. And
I'm
you
all
will
right.
continue to take that. You'll continue taking that 8 points every round until it dissipates, and it will probably dissipate in 6 rounds. The next thing that happens is a force armor projector flies backwards and hits Dan, the Gorilla Man, and he now has a force field around him, increasing his armor. The next effect that goes off is a fire grenade. 8 more points of damage to everyone in that little vicinity. So Joe takes 8 more points of damage, as does Mr. Gorilla. And there will be one final effect, so you'll... how many points do you have left in your speed pool, Joe?
I have 3 left in speed.
After taking damage? Because it'll come
Yes,
out of
after
might.
the fire
and then
grenade.
Okay. And the final effect. You can now ask me one question, Dan, the Gorilla Man. One question at all about anything that I must answer truthfully.
Who am I?
You're Gorilla Man. And I'm waiting for you to break into like song "Are You Man or Gorilla" or something like that. Yeah, and it goes, "You're Dan, the hero of the people, the silent protector, the watchful guardian. You are the outcast." And he goes into this long, like, Michael Caine doing this accent, and, you know...
It was only 15, bastard. I was 15.
Don't do this to me! And then, yeah, so you get into this, and he answers it, and then, like, the gorilla, the massive one, he gets ready to come forward to punch you and drops dead. It is now London's turn. You're still bound, and you notice when that gorilla drops dead, its electro bolos dissipate.
Oh, you're muted.
Just kidding. I'm going to do something I haven't used before. Laying there in this moment of almost being, I guess, incapacitated, or is what you called it. The doctor reaches deep within himself, London does. And you guys watch as the strange blue light radiates from him, and he's going to do healing touch on himself. And I can do 1d6 points to one stat pool of any creature, so I'm going to do it on myself. It's a difficulty 2 intellect task. Oops.
Alrighty.
There goes a thing! I did it!
Alright.
But I only get 1 full point back. I'm going to put it in might, I get 1 back.
Yeah, you can also add an additional 1d6 plus 1 just for a standard recovery roll. So go ahead and do that on top of that.
1d6. Haha! Plus 1, so 7 more. Yes,
so you gain another 7 points as well.
Okay, so I've at least, I'm feeling better.
Yeah, you're coming up. Now, Joe has seen better days. Joe, how are you doing? Oh, Joe takes another 8 points of damage right now from the corrosive gas that's in the area. How many...
Am I conscious again?
Well, now you are. You're also on fire and in corrosive gas.
Can I crawl out of the gas?
Yes. How many points do you have left in all of your pools, though? Just give me your numbers.
4 int.
Okay, so if that int drops, you are dead. But you are now out of the gas, and it's dissipating. And with that, the party is in front of it's Laugh Love Lindy.
Oops, I did
So,
something
with-
wrong. It's probably my fault. No, we're good.
Okay.
I think I'm back.
It's just a, don't worry.
I'm dying anyway. Don't worry about it.
No, yeah. So you crawl out. You can. So we're now outside of combat. There are rumored to be more gorillas up on the ship. Some of your crew. There's nothing but the smoky entrance to this strange vessel outside of Gorilla Planet, and or at the peak of Mount Grimjack, next to the statue of Laugh, Love, Liberty. And with that, you are free to proceed and enter the ship. Do you?
Oh, heck yeah. I use my scalpel to cut myself out of whatever net or whatever it was around me, and I run.
Yeah, it's dissipated. And
okay.
Now, let me explain a little bit about recovery. So, recovery in Cypher system works. The first recovery roll you do is simply an action. You add 1d6 plus your tier level to recover.
Mhm.
The second one you do, you need a 10-minute rest to gain the recovery. And again, it's 1d6 plus your tier level. The third time you rest, you need an hour rest, and the fourth time a day. You can take 10-minute rests and hour rests in advance. You have the equivalent of an hour rest and a 10-minute rest queued. So anyone that would like to recover pools right now are free to spend some dice to do that. Yes, Joe.
I would like to spend some dice to stop dying.
All right, so you can do up to 3 recoveries. So you can do 3d6 plus 3, and you can split those points amongst any pools as you will.
Okay, cool. Got a 6, a 4, and a 2. That should do me fine.
All right. And after resting and recovering, the party has trekked up the landing ramp of this exotic vessel, and inside, all the crew members are down on their knees, and standing above them, hovering, laughing maniacally, is the big bad evil boss of this adventure, the Mecha Gorilla. Well, damn Travis, how you doing?
Well, room's
Yeah.
effect. I don't think it's my fault.
Yeah, it's hey, Travis has never looked so good. Now he looks like Chelsea again. So yeah, so there is a floating mecha gorilla kind of hovering around the room. This is the big boss fight. What do you do?
What happened to that grenade launcher?
Oh, it's still there, but it's out. Although, go ahead and roll a d20 on an 11 or higher. You find it, and it's going to be functional.
I'd say 7.
Oh my god. That was the scariest fucking thing that has ever happened to me. Holy fucking shit. Okay. Holy shit. Alright. Alright. Give me 2 seconds here. We should be okay if nobody panics. Nobody panic. Okay.
I don't think we're live with.
Saw nothing, everything fine. It's all sorted. That was the fucking scariest thing that's ever happened in the universe. Okay, I'm gonna stop touching things.
I apologize.
Carry on. No, it's all my fault. Well, It's also the fact that we've been running for like 36 hours.
Yeah. You've been doing some wild and crazy stuff. Now, Ethan, you find a box, and on the box there is a knob that has two dials. It can be set to R or it can be set to S, and there is a single button to push based on where the knob. Right now, the knob is in a neutral position. What do you do?
Can we hold off on my action? I'm gonna ask chat.
So we want to let chat decide which one, R or S. This will be good.
Yeah.
All right, chat, decide for us.
See an S and R's. S.
Oh, it's kind of.
So let's get a couple more.
Yeah.
Nobody knows which one's R. No one knows which one is S, which is what makes this fun.
Just pick one.
It looks like S is winning.
All right, S is 1. So,
All right.
you push S. So S stands for sleep. A sleep gas will be fired at the mecha gorilla. R was for rage, and it would make it very angry. So you set it to sleep, you push it, and a beautiful pink shimmery cloud floats up around mecha gorilla's head, and he drops like a sack of potatoes and clunks on the floor in front of your crew. And the crew's like, yay! They are quite thrilled that you have rescued them in this vessel. Now, what do you do?
We need to leave. Oh, I mean,
Yes,
we need to leave.
yeah.
Get the dang ship.
Yeah, are we in? Everybody's in the ship.
All right, yes, you have everyone in the... So you're going to attempt to escape Gorilla Planet? What about Amanda down below? Do you want to steal this vessel, or do you want to go back and get your original one?
No, can we just steal this one and pick Amanda up on the way? Off planet?
I could lose. Oh, right now.
Yes.
I can give it. Yeah.
It's
You
clear
can-
that she wants to be here.
It is
She
true.
wants to kill stuff. She wants to kill apes. Let's let her live out her best life.
Well,
waiting
okay.
for the next 100 years. All right. If this was the old D6 Star Wars role-playing game, the game master would be like, Dark Side Point, we're slowly going down the path to corruption. But
Literal
no.
life.
So
My hands are still
with that, you escape and begin to fly off. Now, you're going to need to operate the controls. They're alien, dare I say, simian. So I'm going to need the pilot to make an intelligence task roll. The task difficulty is 7, so you're going to need a 21 or higher to discern. And there are certain things that you can do that might help you. So think through all the options that you've uncovered.
That we've covered. You're testing me, Grant?
A little bit. So you have attributes of your character, such as being fearless. You have no fear, you're calm under this. You might have some other skills and training that you have that would help you. But right now, you let us know what you want to do to solve this conundrum.
So, can I use Hacker?
Yes.
Gain quick access to a desired bit of information, like how to fly this ship?
Yes, use the controls and discern them, but you can see in your mind's eye a diagram of what order to push what, but you're not too sure what they mean.
Okay. Gosh, I really don't know what else I can do.
Use the Force, Joe.
I can use Flex Lore if I have access to a digital library to gain knowledge
You
related
do.
to a specific planet.
you have the data pad that London used to make the magic wings.
Mage
right.
Hand found half of a user manual in the glove box.
That's great. That's great.
Perfect.
Yeah, you find it. However, the instructions are in the Italian language. So, so yeah, you have the you have half a manual that can be used as an asset to reduce it another. So right now you've managed to reduce it from 7 to 5. You can also spend effort to reduce it if you have intelligence points to reduce it even more.
I only have 2 left.
Ooh.
So. Oh wait, no. It says something. Where was it? Was it that I could use? You are trained in all tasks related to piloting a starcraft.
Yep.
These are
that reduces it.
speed-based tasks.
So now you need a
They
12 or
become
higher. Go ahead. All right.
Can I
go ahead?
expend speed effort?
You can spend speed effort, and so
right.
go ahead
I'll
and
just
spend
run
some
it.
points. It is now reduced to 4, and go ahead and roll. Boom!
Yes.
It's a minor effect too, so you take off, and you take off into the stars and escape from Gorilla Planet with a brand new Gorilla vessel. And with that, the epilogue begins. So first, I'd like to know, London, after escaping Gorilla Planet, tell us about the first day spent at the hospital that you and your community had built, because you achieved that goal.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes.
Well, first day on the job. Well, I bring in my dear friend Dan to give a rousing speech to all the new people there, really helping them understand what it means to be working for a charitable organization, and to understand what it really means to provide justice to those in need.
Oh, nice.
I give a terrible
Excellent.
speech, and I end up like beating up 3 of the kids.
They boo you out of the facility with bombs.
There were many memes.
They throw
about
bananas
it.
at you.
All right. Yeah, they threw bananas, just the peels. Get them out of here. We want the real Donkey Kong. They advertised Donkey Kong was going to be there, but what we got was Donkey Dan. Dan Key Kong. Ha 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 ha. So, Joe the pilot, describe to us, so when you eventually perform like your double loop back maneuver with the, high G's while flying, did you survive the task? And if so, what did they name the maneuver? The full name, and it should be in there. You invented this new aerial maneuver.
Joe did not survive. He became pudding, but he did successfully do it.
Pardon my intrusion, but whenever anyone fails a piloting related challenge, it's called pulling a Joe now.
Yep.
You pulled a Joe.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Yep.
And last but not least, Dan, tell us about your life as a guerrilla diplomat.
Dan goes off the
And
grid.
vigilante. He goes off the grid.
He then becomes a millionaire playboy somewhere in Gorilla City.
He gets trained by Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson trains him for a while in some kind of weird tunnel hole thing where you have to fight people and have to climb up, and it's a whole thing, but he's really good at it because he's a gorilla. Then he gets betrayed by the Shadow Council, whatever the fuck it is, eventually he ends on a slightly disappointing finale, and then there are a ton of spin-offs afterwards.
Oh.
Nice.
He gets replaced by some different actor, several different times.
Every film. There's that weird one where they give him the suit with the rubber nipples. There is the other one where he was played by a stand-up comedian. But the animated series of Gorilla Planet is really good.
Oh yeah.
Top notch. And with that, we have successfully escaped Gorilla Planet, and that is the end of the adventure.
We did it!
Incredible. We did it, team.
So that is a 100% improvised one-shot, based off of player decisions and information. You guys did an amazing job. I like that. Leaned into it.
Oh, that was fun.
We did it. We leaned deep, all into the gorillas.
Oh yeah, deep, elbow deep in those gorillas.
Just
when I roll up like a sheik, I'm 3 gorillas deep. I'm not gonna rap. No.
Please do.
Oh my god. Please. Well, it is hour 36 out of 48, which means we are 75% of the way there, my friends. We get some hype in chat. Ding, ding, ding. Motherfuckers, we've got 12 hours left, and then it's done. And then we finish EncounterCon, and then 4 hours later, we start Season 3. But, man, it's been fun. We've got another game coming up in just a few minutes. Laugh Love Lindy is in the DM seat for that, so stick around. And then we're doing our next set of giveaways in just a few minutes' time here as well, so stick around for that. Let's go around the custom crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Grant Ellis, fantastic job tonight. Sticking with us there to the end. How was that, my friend?
Oh, I always have lots of fun. I really like playing at Encounter Roleplay. It's kind of like one of the best places on the internet to play role-playing games, see different systems. There's a phenomenal community behind it. You know, I don't need to advertise it if you're watching this channel, but if it's your first time watching, or you've been liking the EncounterCon that's been going on this weekend, come by during the week. It's a lot of the same players, a lot of the same systems, and it's a phenomenal broadcasting and highly participatory, so you can enjoy it. For me, you can find me online at Wise Papa Grant on Twitter, Grant R. Ellis on Twitch. Officially, in a few hours, there's going to be an announcement where my handle on Twitter will be changing from Wise Papa Grant to WebDM Grant, as I'm officially joining the WebDM team in a number of capacities, including producing them. I'm launching 3 Invisible Sun shows over the next week, and a 4th show will be launching on Grimjack's channel in fall. And if you have any questions about role-playing or design, hit me up on Twitter. I'm always happy to help answer questions. So thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Grant. And Chelsea.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. You can find me online at little_red_dot on all the social medias and things. I play a lot of tabletop RPGs. I, too, have a very large changeover in my fall schedule coming up. I'll be joining the cast of Unmade Gaming, as well as I will be DMing an extended campaign over on the Greyhawks channel starting on Saturday evening, so you can check that out. It should be a lot of fun. We're kind of turning some of the lore of the orc culture on its head, so that should be a good time. You can also check me out on the North by Northwest podcast. I'm also part of the cast of goodness, bless you. I'm also part of the cast of Nerd Immersion and Roll For It as well, where I'm in a Vampire the Masquerade campaign. So lots and lots of fun stuff. Follow me. I'm even launching some things later in the fall on my own channel, including, well, I haven't told you yet. You can come join my Discord and get behind-the-scenes sneak previews of what's coming this fall, but I haven't announced to the public yet.
Awesome. Excuse my yawning. It's by no means a lack of interest, merely a lack of sleep. Last but not least, Ethan.
Hello, I'm Ethan.
Oh yeah.
I'm Super Robot Bear on the Twitter, where you can find all the things that I do. I'm getting into a lot of stuff soon. I'm in a podcast where we talk about we bring on an expert to talk about their favorite RPG shows that happen. We've actually had someone cover The Dark Side for Encounter Roleplay. I'm running the North Seat, the module that I'm writing, over on Unmade Gaming, starting Tuesdays in 2 weeks. On Off the Table on Wednesdays, I'll be running Golden Sky Stories, which is a game about animal spirits helping humans. Fridays, I'm part of Grimjack's Conan universe thing, the Age Undreamed Of, where I play a very tired sorcerer. And Saturdays, I'm in a Dungeon World campaign on Mort's Magical Wares, where I play an enthusiastic halfling.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, my friends, all of the things. Go and follow all of the things. And stick around for our next battle giveaways and hours 36 to 39 on EncounterCon with Laugh Love Lindy and the DMC for some D&D 5e. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys there in a second. Until next time, try not to try too many now ones. You want to be there laughing when you do. Don't trust the apes. They're right everywhere. Look out for them.